Good morning, friends. Today again I am live with the topic the patriot and old story. The patriot and old story, as I have already told you, it is this is included in the ICSE syllabus for 9 and 10. The students of our school 8, 9, 10 should go through the presentation. If possible, be live with me. And today I am taking up this part, the analysis and understanding of the poem. In the first day I have given you the introduction of the topic, and the second day I have discussed the main points, the basic points of the story, and later on I took up the analysis and understanding of the poem, and we have covered 2 stanzas. This is a poem of 6 stanzas, 5 lines each, so 30 lines, and we have covered 2 stanzas, stanza 1 and stanza 2. Today I am going to start with 3. But before coming to 3, I would like to recap of the happening. In the first stanza, what we are seeing? We are seeing that we are getting that a patriot is entering into the town. He is being carried through the town path, town road, and he is being given a celebrity status. He is being given a celebrity status. The roses and myrtle are distributed all through the road. The huge crowd gathered both sides of the road and at the roof of the houses. Huge number of flags have been were put at the top of the houses. So such a gallant, such a grand ovation, such a grand celebration of receiving the patriot who has extended some glory, some fame, some honor for his countrymen. So this is the happening. But to the patriot, it seems that the noise, huge noise of appreciation, the huge noise of reception was not at all acceptable. He was not at all ready to accept that type of ovation. He is more interested because he knows that this is a temporary issue. So it is such amount of huge noise of reception is hateful and disgusting to the patriot. He wants to get something more permanent, something more lasting. So he is interested in everlasting thing to memorize his entry, but to give recognition of his deeds by the countrymen. So that is why he is telling that good folk mere noise repels. Good folk mere noise repels. It means the mere noise is hateful. What I need something permanent. I need something which will make me immortal. Okay, so he wants to get the sun in his hand, and he says his countrymen, bring the sun to me, because the sun is an immortal thing. The sun is a symbol of power. The sun is a symbol of honor. The sun is a symbol of the absolute permanence. So he wants that the countrymen should bring the sun to him. Originally, no one can bring the sun, but it is that he wanted to ask for something which is very permanent in nature. But the people are so triple they are asking, what else do you need? If we bring sun for you, if we bring the sun for you, then so that is the conclusion of the first two stanza. Now the stanza 3. Alack, it was I who lifted the sun to give it my loving friends to keep. Not man could do, have I left undone. And you see my harvest, what I reap this very day. Now a year is run. As I have already told you, you see that the first line, third line and fifth line, these lines are ended with some specific pronunciation, rhymic words, and the second line and fourth line is these two lines are ended with some another pronunciation. The second and fourth line keep and reap, and the first, third and fourth, fifth, sun, done, run. So again, I have already told you it is a specific rhymic scheme, and that scheme is known as Ababa scheme, as I have already told you in our last two occasions. Now alack. Alack, what is the meaning of alack? Alack basically refers to alas. Now it is nothing but first two stanza was something. The first two stanza was something. There was a case of appreciation, there was a case of celebration, there was a case of grand ovation. This was absolute welcoming issue of the patriot, the entry of the patriot, who has done huge honor, who has brought huge honor and prestige for his countrymen, for his residents. But here is some transition, पूरा थोड़ा सा बदल, absolutely North Pole South Pole difference. That was, he was a hero, he was at the peak, he was in the heart of the millions, he was in the heart of his countrymen. But now today, he is a man to be hatred, he is a man to be treated as very shameful. So today, it's a transition. Alas, abak means alas. It was I who lifted the sun. The patriot is telling, it was I who leaped at the sun. Leap means jumping, okay? So I jumped to the sun. Nobody can jump to the sun. So, but what he has, by this word, what the speaker wants to say that he has done maximum. He has done maximum beyond which no one can go. He has brought maximum for the prestige, for the honor of for the glory of his countrymen, and to give it my loving friends to keep. So I have left no stone unturned. I have left no stone unturned to give my countrymen that honor, that prestige, which nobody has given. And that is why I was treated as a patriot. I was taken as the national hero, the community hero. But not man can do, have I left undone. That is, a man can do, not in a man, there is nothing in the world which cannot be done by man. But this man, this patriot has left nothing undone. But he left no stone unturned to do the good job, to the best job for the sake of his countrymen, and that has given honor to his community, to his nation, to his country. And you see my harvest. What is the meaning of harvest? Harvest basically reaping. Okay, you have planted trees, and now it is the time to get the fruits out of that tree. So this fruit is basically known as harvest, and the process of cutting the fruit is known as. Now what I am being repaid today, this very day, now a year is run. So 1 year has elapsed. That very day, but that is the day when the man is being treated as a criminal, as convicted. So what I did, I tried to bring the sun to you. That means I tried to give you the impossible things. I did impossible things to give you something remarkable, so to which have given you the honor, the fame, the prestige, the beauty of our community, our nation. But what I am reaping right now within a year, that is a great transition. The work, the deed, the performance of 1 year back has been forgotten by the fellow. Now he is being treated as a victim. He is being treated as a criminal, and today is the day when he is going to be sentenced to death. He is going to be hanged publicly. He is going to be hanged publicly. So that is the difference. That is the North Pole, South Pole difference. That is the transition from the hero to the criminal. I must not say from the zero to hero, from hero to zero, but from the hero to a criminal. Okay, so this is the third stanza. The words that you should go through. Alak means alas. Leaping, literature jumped from the surface is known as leap. Not refers to nothing. So these are the words which you may go through for your better understanding, although I have spelled out all the yeasrs verbally. Now the stanza 4. There is nobody on the housetops now, just a palisade view at the windows set, for the best of the societies all allows at the Sambals gate, or better yet, by the very scaffold's foot I throw. But there is nobody on the house steps now. What is the contrast? You see the contrast. 1 year back, it was crowd. It was roses. It was myrtle. It was flags. The flags were put at the top of the house. Huge number of flags, colorful flag, developed such a situation as if the flames of fire are emanating. So that was the day. And now today, in that day, there are thousands of people on that rooftop, on both sides of the road. But today, the road is absolutely empty. The road is absolutely empty. None at the rooftop, none at the roadside, no flags, nothing else. On the road, who is on the road? On the road, that who is treated as a victim today, he is on the road. His hands are tied with long rope, so tightly twisted that it started bleeding. No face was being found, but all the members of the house have left the house. They have chosen not to stay at the house, not to go on standing on the both sides of the road, but they were more interested to come at the Sambals gate. Sambals gate means, Sambals refers to I have written over here. Sambals gate is a place where the people would gather together to watch the public hanging. And the scaffold is a raised wooden platform for the public execution of the criminal. So it is the wooden structure for execution. And at the ground which is prepared for execution, but which is made ready basically, and there is an open part. There is an open part where from the people can watch how the man is being hanged. Okay, and that is known as Sambals gate. So people in that, those who assembled 1 year back on the street at the top of the roof, they have basically chosen not to stay at their home, not to be on the roadside, both sides of the road, that better should assemble over Sambals gate, where the man, to watch how the man is going to be hanged in the scaffold. Are you getting me? I think yes. Okay, thank you. And then, but some are over there. Who are? There are nobody on the housetops now, but a palsied few. Palsy is a disease. Basically a nerve disease, which is a disease which makes the person incapable to move. Okay, they cannot move. So they are somehow known as physically handicapped, and some may be mentally handicapped. So that physically handicapped or mentally handicapped fellow, they cannot move. Okay, physically and mentally handicapped fellow cannot move properly. So they have been placed at the front of the window. चलो देखते चलो, वो इंसान तो जाएगा और बाहर से और कौन जा रहा है, तुम लोग देखते चलो. But they cannot move. So then they were not at all brought at the Stambles gate. All the fit fellows, all the physically fit, mentally fit, I must not say it, they are mentally fit, but they are not mentally fit for other reason that I will discuss later on. They are gradually, they have assembled at the Sambals gate to watch the man is going to be executed in the scaffold. Okay, so for the best of the side is all allow that everybody admits. All allow means everybody admits. Everybody admits to go over there, okay, at the Sambals gate, or better yet, by the very scaffold's foot I throw. But the patriot is saying that I think मेरे ख्याल से scaffold gate is a bit at a distance from the Sambals gate is more or less at a distance from the scaffold. So they are more interested to come at the scaffold, where exactly at the point where the man is going to be hanged. Scaffold, I have already told you, is a raised wooden platform for the public execution and of the criminal. So where the criminal is being placed, close hand, stand erect, the face is covered with some black cloths, and the rope is put on the neck, and the man is hanged. But people are not to stand over there. They are more interested to come at the scaffold, because such amount of hatred, such amount of disregard has been developed among the countrymen for the man who was once treated as the national hero 1 year back. So they are more interested to scaffold, although most of them were standing at the Sambals gate to watch the man going to be hanged. Now see, there's something, okay. I go in the rain and more than needs, a rope cuts both my wrists behind, and I think by the feel my forehead bleeds, for the fleeing whoever has a mind stones at me for my years missed it. So one thing is there, we are getting the picture. The patriot is being carried at the scaffold, where he will be hanged. He has been adjudged criminal. He has been adjudged as the convict. Okay, he will be sentenced today. He will be executed today. But what is for the mischief? But what is the mischief? What is the mischief? It is absolutely the reader of this poem is absolutely in darkness. The poet has not stated anything about this. So the patriot has not cleared over here what is his misdeed. So basically he does not think that he has done any misdeed. That is why with this thing we are in absolute darkness, and the cause of the issue of misdeed is absolutely in vogue. We are not getting that. Okay, I go in the rain and more than needs, a rope cuts both my wrists behind. The man was tied, his hands were tied at the back with a rope. The rope was so tightly twisted that it was started bleeding. And I think by the feel my forehead bleeds. When he felt that his forehead, he is getting bleeding, a huge amount of blood is coming out of his forehead through the what I would say, through the gift, by the gift of the countryman. And what is the gift? The gift is the pelting stones on him. They are throwing stones, they are pelting stones on the man. Okay, as a maximum as possible, because in their mind, the extent of disgrace, the extent of hatredness that was absolutely in them, it was nothing but an expression of that. They tried to fly, they tried to spell stones as much possible to the patriot. But one thing is that for their stones at me for my years misdeed. Okay. Now one thing is that I go in the rain. I have some discussion. I want to have some discussion on this part. I go in rain. What does it mean? Everybody will say that it was raining, but there is no evidence of raining. Okay, it is rain. I was in rain. It may be that the man was, when the man was standing over there, there was huge rainfalls. There was huge downpour, but that has not been mentioned over here. It is absolutely vague. Absolutely, it used metaphorically, because my thing is that what I have thought. I go in the rain. I go in the rain, mane actually when just you say you are standing somewhere and going through and watching everything what is happening all around. That is known as raining also. That means the man, the patriot, was watching each and everything minutely. I was raining. I was watching each and everything minutely what was happening all around me, what was happening on me, what were happening all around. That is why the term in rain is used. But if you go to your topic, your books, I think workbook or whatever it may be, I think it is stated that is in rain. It was raining, but it does not mean. Friends, my suggestion is that it was not the rain. Let me gaze that it was not rain. But the concept, basically, the conceptual part is that the man was raining, and actually, not only that, raining has got another concept too. The raining has got another concept. The man was watching what is happening everywhere, and he was getting the consequence of that. Are you getting me? The man was watching what is happening all through, and also getting the consequence of that. Whenever pelting through, whenever the raindrops comes down, no, it comes in good number and rattling. Some sound is there also. If it is fallen on the top of the roof, on the top of the tin roof or any tallied roof, but and that effect is also on him. Okay, the throwing stones, pelting stone, flying stone on him is also raining the stone. Okay, so this is, I think, this particular phrasal part you should take in proper care. So rain does not mean that there was a rain water over from the top and there was downpour, but it was raining means he was watching each and every day. I was in rain means I was in rain, but I was watching everything what is happening all over, and I was also getting the effect of that. There's a huge pelting of stones on me. So that is, in this way, this is the thought of the man. I go in the rain, and more than needs, a rope cuts both my wrist behind. So there is no need of tying up that man. Okay, the wrists were tied in so hard, so tightly that a huge bleeding. But there was, and the persons and the crowd, the countrymen who stood over there, intentionally stood or deliberately stood over there to defame the patriot, to patriotism, to show their dishonor, to show their ambush to the patriot, and they started spelting thrown on him. And they were not only restrained themselves in standing at the Sambo's gate, they were more interested to come exactly at the spot where the man is going to be hanged, exactly at the spot that is at the scaffold. Now come the last stanza. Thus I entered and thus I go. You see, thus I entered and thus I go. In arms people have dropped down dead, paid by the world what dost thou owe me? God might question now instead, it's God shall repay. I am suffer so. Thus I entered, thus I go. Thus I entered. The way I was entering into the city, I entered with a big bang. Thus I entered. How? I was entered 1 year back. How? It was great bang. It was huge rejoice, huge gathering. The gathering of thousands of fellow both sides of the road, or at the back of the city wall, at the roofs. The bells were there, roses were there, flags were hosted, and huge gathering, celebration and praising. Okay, so that was a day. As he has stated in the second stanza, mere noise, good folk, mere noise repels. Noise is temporary. Such a celebration was a temporary issue. People would have forgotten that day, that the day of goodness, that the day of celebration, that the day of rejoicing. Okay, so that day, that it is aptly said that the people might have forgotten. Now, thus I go. How I am going? How I am going? Today I am going with. I came as a hero. Now I am departing this world. I am departing this city. I am departing this world as a convict, as a victim, as a criminal. I am going to execute it today. So what is the paradox? What is the paradox? Paradox, do you know? That exactly alternative, head and tail. Okay, now North Pole and South Pole. Paid by the world, what dost do you owe? Dost mean do. You, thou, money, you owe. What things I have taken from you? मैं आपसे क्या लिए हैं? क्या उधारा है आपको? कुछ तो नहीं लिया हमको. I have given you and given you. God, now the poet that the poem is going to be concluded. Amidst of aversion, amidst of great tragedy, so the hero came with a bang, and the hero and this patriot is leaving this world tragically. Now the poet Robert Browning is a very spiritual fellow. He is very optimistic fellow. If you go through his learning, his writings, you will see that he basically ends with the note of optimism. What is that? The hero was accepted with great rejoice. The hero is being rejected with and that is the greatest tragedy. But he thinks it is better not to stay in this world. The world cannot value you. The world can't value you. The world cannot remember the greatness you have shown. The world, the community, the residents have already forgotten the great honor, peace, honor, the great honor and prestige that I had brought 1 year back for the country. And now I have been judged, ironically, for my misdeed. Basically, what happened, do you know? Basically, what happens, it was a case of middle-aged classes, middle world, okay, medieval world. In that case, in most of the, not only most, in nearly all of the countries were controlled by the rulers. The rulers used to rule their country at their whims and fancy. What they say, that is the final. If anybody goes against his, if anybody would go against their will, he would have been given, he would have been treated as the criminal, as the culprit, okay? And the man is given the final treatment, that is the sentence to death. What happened to Socrates? What happened to Pluto? What happened to Jesus Christ? So there was no question of democracy. As India right now, you think, what will happen? In India, if anybody is sentenced to death, he will go to the higher court, and in the higher court, the judge will listen to, will analyze everything, will scan everything in the context of the justice, in the context of the legal forum. So in that way, today the democracy operates. But even I am saying there were Shariat actors there. But if you go to some Arab states, some Arabian states, there is also this type of treatment is there. There are some countries, I think, if you go through the Google issues, you will see that there are a good number of Arabian states where this type of scaffold is there, this type of scaffolder over there, when the public are hanged. Okay, but it was because of the absence of democracy. Had there been any democracy over there at that time, there is no question of the man being hanged in such a way within a year of his good deed. That was the day when he was carried, when he was given the heroic praise, heroic reception, celebrity status. Within 1 year, the man has done the mischiefs and he is being hanged. He is being executed. He is going to be hanged till death in the publicly, and the public is torturing him. So that was the status of the then ruling. Okay, the then ruling, and that was the behavior of the then rulers. So what they did, anything that went against their interest, they would have given the status that he is a criminal. It happened to Jesus. I have already told you. It's an old story. Why? It happens to Jesus when Jesus was brought to Jerusalem first. He was given the heroic status, celebrity status. Everybody was banging. It was a great joy all over. Joy, roses and everything was there. But within some days, this man was announced by the ruler that he is a criminal. He is doing everything wrong for the community, everything wrong for the society. So he should be hanged. He should be put into death through pelting stones. And Jesus was crucified. So that is basically the absence of democracy. Okay, that is basically the absence of democracy, and it happened. It was the practice of happening in the medieval world, and even in some Arabian state, you can have that type of treatment to the criminals. But now our patriot is thinking. Jo hua acha hua. The man, this world cannot judge me properly. This world cannot judge me properly. All my good deeds have been forgotten. I do not know what mischiefs I have done. Still I am going to be hanged. But now after death, I will go to the lap of the God. I will go at the bosom of the Almighty. And there is no injustice. There is no injustice in that world. In the world of God, when the God is a ruler, so there I will get the justice. Let the people, let this poor fellow cannot give me the justice. The justice will be extended by the Almighty. So here I am not safe, I am not sound, but I will remain safe and sound at the bosom, at the lap of the Almighty, at the lap of the God. And so although he is not at all mentally prepared to, he is not at all mentally prepared to get this type of return from the public who once took him as the greatest hero, but still when it has happened, chalo, let it be accepted. हम accept कर लिए हैं. Now I am leaving this world for another world where God is the ruler, where justice prevails. I will be safe at the lap of that Almighty. So thank you, friend. Thank you for today. And if you have any discussion, if you have any queries, I think it is better for you to give in comments, okay? And you, all the students of 8-9-10 must go through the topic and you give the reactions, and then I will be able to judge that you have gone through the topic. And I always expect some remarks, some comment on your part, so that I can judge to what extent I am reaching to you and to what extent you are getting my presentation, you are understanding my presentation. So give comment, must. And in the next occasion I will come with the critical appreciation of the poem. I think that will be the last part of the discussion on the poem The Patriot and Old Story. So thank you, stay tuned. Thank you very much.